stop acting like the world owes you something. Get out and do something for your freaking selves.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
What's up, taxpayers? I'm Chris.
And I'm Jen.
And it's your average American back at you with another episode.
Yep. Today we are going to talk about the deficit a little bit. We got a patron on our page who decided he wanted to share the deficit of Trump in every post that we have posted. So I want to explain to you guys what exactly the deficit is and compare it to Obama's deficit.
And as you've seen in the last episode where we talked about the queers, I'm pretty sure he posted it when we were talking about that too. It's
Yes,
like,
he did.
Oh, you bigots. Here's this meme.
Yeah. It was very random. But he was trying, at least at that point, he was actually accurate about something.
So here it is.
Yep.
Here's the picture. Alright, so let's talk about it a little bit. I'm going to let Jen do most of the talking on here. And I think I have a few questions because I don't fully understand it.
Okay. Alright. So, the U.S. deficit is expected to be $1.1 trillion in 2020. The U.S. deficit was also $1.1 trillion in 2012 when Obama ended their first term. Yes, thank you. When it come into brain.
Not political commentators, just...
Yep, just definitely not. In 2008, Obama actually, when Obama took office, the deficit was only $459 billion. By the end of his fourth year, fourth year, it was back up to 1.101 trillion. It kind of seems like they're running on the same pattern here. Okay, it's the same schedule. Now, I will give credit to Obama. By the time that it was 2016 in his last term, he had it back down to what it was in 2008. It's crazy. It took him 2 terms to do so, though. Okay, so with that being said, revenues are expected to be the highest in U.S. history by the fiscal year of 2020. Trump and Congress did this to pay past debt. Or pay past debt for high levels of military spending in 2008. That has nothing to do with Obama, and it did have nothing to do with Trump. That had everything to do with old G.W. Bush.
Who doesn't love a good Bush?
Well, I'm actually not drinking Bush.
And
neither is...
I didn't mean the beer.
doggone it.
RJ wouldn't like Bush. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so with that being said, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid are mandatory programs. Okay?
And kind of socialist, at least the medical aspect of it.
I mean, still mandatory. Payroll tax revenues cover Social Security and Medicare, but does not cover Medicaid. That spending has got to come from somewhere. Where does it come from? Our deficit. Our deficit is pretty much what Congress and the president sit down at the beginning of the year and say, okay, this is what I plan on spending. Deficit is what accrues over what you actually planned on spending. Even though they sound the same, deficit is not the same thing as debt. Deficit is when spending is greater than revenue accounted for. Okay? Pretty much what I just said. Debt is the accumulation of each year's deficit. That means it goes all the way back to when the tax federal was first started.
Well, the Federal Reserve.
Yes, the Federal Reserve. Sorry, I said tax federal. When the Federal Reserve was first started. It's a long time ago. By the way, it was started illegally. Do your own research on that.
She mentioned, the Medicare and all our healthcare stuff, and that is 29%, on them pie diagrams. It is the largest, absolute largest fund we have coming out of our budget is for healthcare. And some of you Democratic candidates want to increase that.
The same gentleman also got into how he was falsifying information on unemployment. And that's where I can say this gentleman was wrong. Wrong. Trump has actually been extremely accurate about that. Now I can say he was a bit over-exaggerative.
Embellished a bit.
On his Asian market. Since 1972, African unemployment is at a record low at 5.5%. Hispanics since 1973 is at 4.2%. Asians was where he kind of embellished a little bit. Its lowest recorded was in 2001, and it was at 2.1% in 2001. It's now at 2.8. Like I said, he embellished by 0.7%. He's human. Some people do that. Actually, everybody does that.
Especially Trump.
He does. He's kind of a cocky, arrogant son of a bitch. But guess what? He's doing good things for this country. Whether you want to see it or not, it's happening. Okay. Our wages are rising under Obama in 2009. In the first year he took office, wages were higher by 3.5%. Then by 2011, had decreased to 1.7% and never got higher than 2.6% as he was president. Since Trump has taken office, wages have been back on the rise and are at 3.43%, and they're steadily rising.
I haven't got them.
I haven't received them either.
No.
But I'm not working those kind of jobs. I don't work factory jobs. I don't do that kind of thing. So that's not what I'm going to see. But people who are, now that Trump has brought back our factory jobs, people who are working them are being able to live. They're in a livable wage. And I keep seeing people say, "Oh, well, we need a wage that's livable." Well, guess what? You need a wage that's livable.
Get another job or work a job that pays you what you want.
Get an education. You know, and I understand better than anybody. I have school debt. Lots of it.
No.
I do.
I got a degree.
I have school debt. But my debt was after I got my post 9/11 GI Bill. I went back to school, and it's a lot of crap that happened between there and there. But either which way, still have a lot of things. And I don't even work the job that I went to school for. And I have a bachelor's degree. But you know what? If I were to go to that, or if I were to go, or I would move somewhere, or go to a place, I could be. That's my limitations. Has nothing to do with Trump. They're out there. It's whether or not you want to get off your tail and actually go make something out of yourself. Stop acting like the world owes you something. Get out and do something for your freaking selves.
So with all that being said, you've seen the meme that we posted, and though it's somewhat true, it's misleading in the fact that they're trying to portray it as Donald Trump is doing
Any worse
worse
than-
or spending more. Not yet. He may over his next 4 years, if he gets it.
Or he could drop it.
So for right now, he's right on par. I believe Obama's was $1,000 more, which is insignificant, so we're not going to count that. So we'll see. Like she said, there's a lot of things that go into account for it, and we're not even blaming Obama for all of it. So for our next episode, we're going to want your input. So either on here, leave a comment, or on the Facebook page, wherever you might see this. Let us know. We want to know what you think about Bloomberg and his announcement for if he gets the candidacy to have Hillary as his running mate.
Lord help us.
So what do you think about Bloomberg, and what do you think about Hillary in this choice? Do you think it's good or bad? Do you think it's smart? And what's his political play or his move to do this?
Okay, y'all. Buckle up. It's going to be one hell of a ride.